today I'm gonna do it's a rice salad with spring vegetables, and I'm gonna go over inspired a little bit with like a balsamic, no, like a French vinaigrette. Um, so a couple of things I'm gonna show you. First thing is the main ingredient of our salad is this is a combination of quinoa and long grain white rice. This is white rice. So it's about half and half, one, maybe like 2/3 of a cup and a cup of the white rice, or maybe a little less. This is actually a great way for people who are not very used to quinoa or to other whole grains to kind of mix them in with the white rice that we're more used to. So, but the thing I love about this is the rice and the quinoa cook in the same pot at the same time. So it is easy to just make it together. If you're kind of like a little, if you've done rice before, but you've never done quinoa, just the only thing you need to know is the quinoa has to be rinsed really well before, until kind of like there's a little bit of like a bitter powder around the quinoa that you just rinse it away, and then you mix it with the rice and cook it as you would rice, and it cooks at the same time. As you see, it just opens up a little bit of those has like a little tail, not all of them at all time, but that's how it is. So this will be our base for our salad. So it's kind of like a hearty spring salad. And what we're gonna dress it up is these are blanched snap peas, some green peas, also like blanched briefly. That's like, and some parsley that we're gonna use. We have a little bit of greens that we're gonna just serve it on top. And this is not a spring vegetable. The cucumbers come in later in the season, but we have them so we can use them. And for color, I'm gonna add a little bit of, I have these little carrots, and sometimes you get them and you don't eat them. So we're gonna add color to it. And most importantly, some parsley that we'll chop in a second. But first, we're gonna go into our vinaigrette. For the vinaigrette, it doesn't make any complicated vinaigrette. We're gonna have apple cider vinegar, this one. So we're gonna do about a tablespoon. We're gonna do 1 and 1 of olive oil and vinegar. We're gonna put a little bit of water because we're gonna add some honey to it. So here's my little honey there. I want a little sweetness. So it's about a tablespoon as well. And then add about a tablespoon, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of just water. Here's my tablespoon of water. And of course, we need to season that, right? So a little pinch, just a little pinch of salt and some pepper. Always freshly ground pepper is way better. The other, this is a very French ingredient for salads. They love it, and I love it too, is tarragon. If you've never tried it, just try it. It's a herb. It's a little bit, I'll show it to you. And just a little pinch goes a long way. They use it a lot for fish too, or for chicken. You can marinate things with this. But so as always you do with dried herbs, just add a pinch and just break it with your fingers like that. It'll just give it a little extra oomph of to bring back the flavors from the dried herb. So get a little whisk and just whisk it. And this is our vinaigrette. So the key thing for this one, so as I mentioned, you cook the rice and the quinoa. Right now I have it's room temperature. And it's actually best to dress your rice room temperature because it will soak up the vinaigrette really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my vinaigrette to my rice and toss all of it. Because this is like if you want to think, it's like my framework for the salad. And then it starts dressing it up nicely. And then to that, we can add our peas. And so remember my snap peas. So I have them and I blanch them, but I'll just make them bite-sized pieces, kind of like at a diagonal, like that. And in goes You can add also, it's very French. We're not adding it here, but if you like it, a little bit of mustard, that's good in the vinaigrette. You can make it a little spicy. We're keeping it a little more simple. We want the fresh taste of the veggies in it. So here's my, so then you toss it. Remember, the vinaigrette is already in it. So it'll just, you can see it kind of like sheens the color from all the things we added. So there you go. So now that is our main ingredient. So for color, I was saying, grab a grater and then just a couple of carrots. This is, carrots are more like the root vegetable, comes like a little later and actually more into the fall. But of course, we always have carrots around, right? So if you have them, use them. And I like it because it just brings a little bit of color. Also remember vitamin A, a lot of vitamin A in the carrot, great for your vision, also for inflammation, helps. So we'll just add it in there. And then our parsley. This is a flat leaf parsley. Oh, I also had a little bit of red onion, which I'm also going to add, just chopped red onion, like a tablespoon or two. And now I'm going to just chop my parsley. This is flat leaf. I don't even go very into removing all the stems. I actually like in this salad a little bit of a crunchiness from the stems, gives it a little more assertive taste. And to chop parsley, you can just go and kind of like bunch it next to your knife and then go at it. It's pretty hearty herb, right? And so it holds pretty well. You can do a couple of passes, of course. Make sure you have a nice knife. If you start chopping and your cutting board starts becoming green in the bottom, which this is not, the green in the bottom means that your knife is not very sharp, and you're actually squeezing all the juices and the flavor into the cutting board and not into your dish. So this is it. If you like cilantro, for example, you can use cilantro. We're just keeping it a little bit more. The French don't use a lot of cilantro, but we do a lot of it here. So anyway, then here's our mix. Just mix it. See how that now that the color of the carrot makes it a little more interesting. And then, oh, I forgot. I have my just gonna go with one of the cucumbers. These are the the Persian cucumbers. They're kind of like really tiny. I use the seeds and all. I'll dice it. If you have peppers, you by all means use peppers. It's these, and this is a good salad that keeps in the refrigerator for a couple of days. So you can make it ahead of time, have it for lunch or have it for dinner. Take it with you if you're going out. And remember, the quinoa adds a lot of protein into this. But if you want to add some chickpeas to it, you don't need to, but you can. And so there you go. Now you've dressed your salad. And now I'm going to just serve. I usually serve it with a little bit of greens on the bottom. You can just spread them because remember that vinaigrette is already in it. And then just add it in there, and it's really a very nice hearty salad for your spring.